What is Zero Net Carbon Design, or ZNCD Education? Zero Net Carbon Design, ZNCD Education, is specialized training that equips architects, engineers, and building professionals with the knowledge and skills to design structures that achieve net zero carbon emissions. This approach addresses both operational carbon, emissions generated during a building's use, and embodied carbon, emissions produced during material extraction, manufacturing, transportation, and construction. ZNCD Education covers critical topics, including energy-efficient building design principles, renewable energy integration strategies, low-carbon and carbon-sequestering material selection, whole building lifecycle carbon assessment methodologies, performance modeling and verification techniques, current building codes, and carbon reduction standards. The curriculum emphasizes practical application, enabling professionals to implement carbon-neutral strategies from initial design concepts through construction completion and operational phases. Why is ZNCD education required in California? California has established itself as a national leader in climate action and sustainable building practices. The state's ambitious carbon reduction goals have made ZNCD education not just beneficial, but increasingly mandatory for building professionals. Legislative framework. California's commitment to carbon neutrality is codified in several key pieces of legislation. Executive Order B 3015 established statewide goal to reduce greenhouse gas emissions 40% below 1990 levels by 2030. Senate Bill 32 codified these regulations and these reductions targeted into law. Executive Order B 5518 set the ambitious target of achieving carbon neutrality statewide by 2045. Assembly Bill 3232 requires the California Energy Commission to assess the potential for reducing greenhouse gas emissions from the state's residential and commercial building stock by at least 40% below 1990 levels by 2030. Professional licensing requirements. The California Architects Board, in alignment with these state mandates, now requires licensed architects to complete continuing education in zero net carbon design. This requirement ensures that professionals possess current knowledge of state energy codes and Title 24 building standards, carbon accounting methodologies, sustainable design best practices, emerging technologies for carbon reduction. Market and client demands. Beyond the regulatory compliance, ZNCD education has become essential due to growing climate demand for sustainable low-carbon buildings, increasing number of municipalities adopting REACH codes that exceed state minimums, competitive advantage in securing projects with sustainability requirements, public and private sector commitments to carbon-neutral building portfolios. Where to obtain ZNCD education in California? Several reputable organizations provide high-quality ZNCD education tailored to California's specific requirements and building contexts. GreenCE. GreenCE offers comprehensive ZNCD online continuing education courses focused on sustainable design and zero net carbon strategies. Their curriculum is specifically designed to meet California's continuing education requirements for architects and includes courses on energy modeling, carbon footprint reduction, LEED, and sustainable material selection. The platform's flexible, self-paced format allows professionals to complete their education requirements on their own schedule. GBES, Green Building Education Services. GBES provides specialized training programs in green building practices and zero net carbon design. Their offerings include both in-person workshops and online courses that address California's unique climate zones and building challenges. GBES courses often feature case studies, making the education directly applicable to local practice. Their instructors bring real-world experience implementing carbon-neutral design strategies in California's diverse building markets. The path forward. As California continues to lead the nation in climate policy and sustainable building practices, ZNCD education will remain a critical component of professional development for architects, engineers, and building industry professionals. The requirement reflects a broader recognition that achieving the state's ambitious carbon reduction goals depends on equipping design professionals with the knowledge and the tools to create buildings that minimize environmental impact. By investing in ZNCD education through providers like GreenCE and GBES, California's building professionals position themselves not only to meet regulatory requirements, but to lead the transition towards a carbon-neutral built environment. This education represents both a professional obligation and an opportunity to contribute meaningfully to addressing climate change through thoughtful, informed design practice.